All right, testing, testing. One, two, three. Let me make sure the glitches worked out. You know, trial and error. Welcome again, guys, to yet another series of the Primal Man of God series. I'm your host, Bruce Waller. I hope everybody's doing well. I'm gonna give a few moments for people to get on and get connected. I want to make sure this thing is working properly and that there are no bugs. We come against bugs in the name of Jesus. Awesome. Let me know you're on with me. Say hello. Make sure that we're in on this. Get it going. How's everybody doing? Let me know you're on with me. I'm excited about this conversation, guys, tonight. One of my good friends, actually a brother of mine, I call him brother, Tony Shivers. He'll be on with us momentarily to have this conversation with me about the man and his community. Looking forward to that conversation. What's going on, Curtis? How you doing, sir? Hope everybody's doing well. I'm going to wave at you. Yes, sir. Stay on with me if you can for a few minutes. Talk with me, engage, share, like, and invite this awesome conversation. What's going on, Anthony Freeman? How you doing, sir? I know you're still doing your thing with the refereeing. Miss Harris, good to see you on here with us. Love the food, by the way. Yes. So welcome again, guys, to our conversation on tonight. If you laying back and relaxing, stay tuned for a great conversation. Looking forward to having this conversation with my brother Tony. Yes, sir. Marshall Marks, what's going on, man? It's good to see you, man. Long time no see you. Glad to have you on with us, bro. How you been? All right. And we got Mr. Tony Shivers on here. All right. So we got him on here. So before we get started, guys, I always like to read our mission, our vision. For if you can, guys, I think this conversation is very crucial. The man in his community is important. Mr. Isaac, God bless you, sir. Honor to have you on here. Another primal man of God, phenomenal man of God. God is using him mightily. Yes, God bless you, sir. So I want to read our mission and our vision, guys. Before we get started and jump in, we'll get a little bit of backstory on my brother Tony, man. Phenomenal man of God, most definitely. Our mission, our vision is a society of men that embodies the true Adam to expand kingdom living on earth to create godly order in all aspects of life. Men who are serious about establishing God's plans to better communities, families, marriages, people, and more. And our mission is simple, guys. We teach, train, and empower men to become the Adam that God has called them to be. So we really believe in what God has called us to be. Yes, keep us posted on United Way, Miss Harris. God bless everybody again. Yes, I believe in God giving this platform to have awesome dialogue and conversation, and I believe God is going to use this platform mightily. He has and continue to do so. This has been birthed since started in 2017, just on my journey where God had me at the time in my life, and now we're going to jump into this conversation. The man in his community is something that God has put on my heart some time ago, and just really rolling it out with just a series of conversations with phenomenal men that are in our community, specifically Asheville, and getting more and just sharing these awesome stories and narratives with people all across the United States. So Tony, man, he just is a great person. I met him some years ago. This man has just been just phenomenal in his work, his profession, his business, everything he's done. Just a man of integrity, I would say that for sure. And I'm just glad to know him. So I asked him to be on this conversation with us tonight, and I'm looking forward to having that dialogue. Guys, if you can, please share, like, and invite. Invite people into this conversation. I think it's very crucial, not only to our men, but to our community, to get really involved in ways that are intentional and strategic, and that can make true change. So I'm going to call Tony to come on in with us. Tony, if you can go ahead and click that green button, sir, you can jump in this conversation with me. I'm looking forward to dialoguing with you tonight, not just as a host to interview ye, but also from to brother to brother. So you can jump on in with us. Hey, Miss Clausen, how you doing? April Clausen. Look, it's just so good to see people, family on here tonight with us. Miss Rosa Hamilton, it's good to see you. Yes, amen. Let us know you're on with us tonight. Let me try to, I probably can invite you in. Let me try that. Awesome. And it may be the MacBook itself. It may be computer to phone to phone. I know sometimes that it gets a little weird. Hold on one second, guys. Awesome. Miss Tiffany. There we go. Awesome. Amen. Amen. So thank you for being on with us tonight, guys. This is an important conversation to us. Conversation.
What's up, man?
What's going on, brother? How you doing, sir?
I'm doing all right.
Yeah,
what
man.
you into?
Man, just maintaining, sir. I'm excited just to have you on here on this conversation with us. Let me get this angle right, because the light is all in the background. There we go. That's much better. That light back there behind me always interferes with the lighting on here. So, Tony, I want to say first, thank you, brother, for being on here on with us tonight, bro. It really means a lot to me personally, man, to not just only have you on here, but we already have connection and brotherhood. So this most definitely just going to be how we rock. So
Yes, sir.
most definitely. For those who may be wondering, Tony, man, he's doing a lot of work in our community. Speaking of community, you're already doing a lot. You just came back in transition. Before this, you were somewhere else. So you just been getting it all day. So God just keep blessing you and just keep just moving and shaking in your life. You're a great example to not only to youth, but also to other men as well. And most definitely, I see you as a primal man of God. So I'm glad to have you on here tonight. I always start off with this question before we jump into questions. My question to you is, what is something that God has put on your heart this week, or maybe even this month, something you've been marinating on that you could share with us, something that you've just been meditating on?
Just maintaining relationships, and for us, like the men that God has blessed to be in that circle. It's kind of like all of us got so much that we do in life, and we not finding time to catch up with each other. So use these phones, these devices, these computers, like it's allowing us to be in two different places at the same time and still be able to catch up.
Yeah.
And so mainly it's the investment in each other. Like you giving me the opportunity to invest back into you by talking to you right now, and then and likewise by you asking me questions. So it's more in the interaction, man. Because as men, we don't do that. We don't do that a lot. So the people think that the interaction have to be male or female, and so that's the main thing. When you see men interacting together, that shows some divine stuff, man.
Yeah, that's real talk. Me and no Tony talking about relationships. As long as I've known you, and it hasn't been a long time. I mean, to some it may be, but I haven't known you a decade yet. But at least 4 or 5 years, and you just been always about relationships and always keeping people together. So for you, I can see that that's the heart of what God, like that's your zone, like what God has put on you to make sure you maintain relationships, and even like not just having lip service, like you actually put action behind everything that you have done. As long as I know you, like you the same Tony right now that I know
Right,
5 years ago. So
right.
you never switched up, and I really appreciate
Right.
that. And just that be a consistent individual. So it's good to hear like that's your mission, just to always have those solid relationships, even among other brothers.
Right, 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 right.
I see that you do that. So thank you for doing that. So guys, if you're on with us tonight, please share, like, and invite. This is a conversation I believe is very crucial. Not only am I talking to someone that's moving and shaking this community, but also is a brother of mine and a man of God. And I'm just glad to have him on. So we can dive right in, Tony. You cool with that?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So, I think we kind of been talking about this beforehand about this specific topic, and each question that I ask you, you can really expound on. What's going on, Todd? Yeah, man, you haven't made it. One of our guys on his name, Todd. He was so on the last conversation because I interviewed Nick last week. He said, "Yo, I'm being on here every week. Like, I want to make sure I catch these brothers." Uh, so getting back, I was telling you a little bit about this specific topic about the man in his community, and something God has really put on my heart. And I just realized since the conception of Primal, man, I have not really gotten to the heart of where I am or where God has placed me in this city, Asheville. And I really wanted to just be able to shed light to certain things that men are doing, and also create that narrative and intertwine like stories together
Right,
to share that overall area view of what God is doing here, but also just sharing our hearts. And out of that comes gold and just amazing conversation. And not only that, but strategy comes out of it as well. Just keeping God at the forefront of it, but also our community in mind and everything that involves that. So the first question I want to ask you, Tony, is why do you believe it's important for a man to be involved in this community in any aspect? And you can expound on this.
Well, far as any man in being involved in this community, it sets a standard. And so
Mm,
not only do it sets a standard, it's a roadmap to seeing how people
yeah.
engage. So and then also like when I was coming up,
Mm,
it was a certain standard that you did when you was around other men. And it was
yeah.
when make a long story short, it's all respect. It's the
Yeah.
morale and the respect, and a lot of things being invested in the community. It allows you, the community give you that respect, and it allows you to go and be other places where people they listen to you, receive
Yeah.
advice. It's a respect thing. So it's the green light to go wherever you want to go, and
Yeah.
it's respect all the way around because it remove also stereotypes or learned
Mm,
behavior when people think that they had a green light to go in other people's communities and be able to
wow.
talk when they ain't invested nothing in there. People that
Wow.
risk their lives to do this kind of stuff. And so now it's just an opportunity to go back and know that they allow us to come back and be an investment in the community because you got to give back.
Yeah, that's true. Tony, as long as I know you, like, you're not only like everywhere I go, you, I've seen you there. You know what I mean? Like any event, any type of function, it didn't matter. Like you are consistently there, and even other places I haven't even been yet. But not only amongst the young, but you're also amongst the older, like the
Right, right,
older
right.
as well. And I always hear you talk about every time that we have conversations, you always remind me of other conversations, or even at a certain specific time in someone else's life, to remind me like the richness of Asheville, and even just the connections that are made, like always introducing but always reminding where people have come from, and even where you have come from as well.
Right,
So
right, right, right.
yeah, so you being here, man, how are you're from Asheville, you're from this area, can you give us just a little backstory on you, Tony?
Yeah. Well, I'm a native of Asheville, North Carolina. I've been here my whole life. I've been
Okay.
here born and raised, starting off on Flint Street, going all the way to Woodcroft, to Charlotte, to Livingston,
Mm,
to man, Martin Luther King. Like we've been around here, and so being a native of here, it's a lot of richness here, and a lot of people. that had that respect around the morale in the community, man, is
Yeah.
just like seeing those same faces that when I was a kid
Mm-hmm.
had respect for my parents and my grandparents and the people that I love, and then it's like now that they gone, they showing me that same kind of respect, like on the strength. Our last name means something,
Wow.
and
Wow.
so carrying those last names, allowing other people to say, "Hey, I know your granddaddy, or I know your mom," or and it allows us to do certain things. It's like I grew up with them; they was good people, so I know your bloodline, so I know you good people too.
Mm.
And so that's the investment coming back. Like, okay, I know this was being instilled in you, and if I see something else different, then they gonna pull your coattail and say, hey, that ain't the bloodline I ran into, so that can't
Mm.
be your people.
Wow. So bloodline and like that consistency of that same character. That's powerful, man. This goes right just into another question, just on a bigger scope. But across the U.S., there has been like a lack of male presence in the church, in the community, schools, and several other places. Not saying that men aren't
Right,
there,
right,
but
right.
just that lack. What do you believe is the cause of that, and how can we help in getting more men involved in those spaces, whether specifically to Asheville? I did ask it on the U.S. level, but
Hmm.
what do you believe is the cause of that, and how can we help in getting more men involved in those spaces?
I don't think it's a lack of men. It's a lack of identity and belonging to be
Mm,
able to belong somewhere.
yeah.
And it's not ideal that the first thing that someone want to do is plant themselves in the church or being in school or getting involved or being committed to the community. Because I was one of the ones that destroyed the community when I was in the streets, and then it took for
Mm,
somebody else to reveal those things to me. Like, okay, this is a community that you thriving out of, and so why are you not giving back? Not money,
mm,
not resources. You give the time. Like, there's young men that sit and watch you do the things you did, and so
mm,
now why you can't get them back certain things to be able to. We ain't gonna try to survive no more. We finding solutions to be able to operate in our communities, meaning that we setting a standard for men to be able, young men as well as
yeah.
other men, like a lot of the stuff that we used to do ain't cool no more. So then when
Right.
you pull that coattail and let them know where that stuff derived from, then
Mm,
that's the thing. Like it's the lack of presence, meaning now it's men everywhere.
yeah. That it
But
is
yeah, a lot
in
of them
those
went
spaces.
to right went to prison like I did, and it took for me to
Mm,
be facing them 783 months for conspiracy to risk my life doing something that I would naturally wouldn't be doing if I wasn't under the influence of drugs or I wasn't under the influence of male leadership. Because I lost my dad when I was 8 years old, so
mm,
the people in my community became that leader. And so
mm,
the thing that I thought was ordeal, it was like a man going to work every day and taking care of his family. That wasn't natural.
mm,
That was like through my upbringing, that was considered lame. Like, man, you gonna go work a 9 to 5 and
mm,
take care of some kids that ain't yours? That's lame. And so,
mm.
but what I'm learning too through the cause of these things is just like if you sit and you pay attention to the morale of what a person talk about every day. See, some people don't have those kind of families, and so the very thing like my grandma passed, my uncles in
Yeah.
passed, like all of the elders of my family gone. So I get that from the other elders of the church. So that's why
Wow.
when you see me in the community and I'm gleaning from them, I'm learning from them because God is supplying the need that I need, that I wanted from my family. And because I was running the streets, I didn't have an opportunity to get that from my family. So I'm learning it from a family that God has given me.
Wow. So you're talking about like just connections in this community, and how important it is. Like like would you say, Tony, that you are a byproduct of this community just where you are today?
Right. Because my identity was in baseball, and then being able to transition from baseball to be able to be Tony Shivers, I ain't never been able to be Tony Shivers. It
Wow.
took for me to be able to find my identity. And then it's just a stigma that's put on every male's life that society says you got to be a certain way. You got to be the head of the household. You got to be the breadwinner. It's sometimes in your life that God ain't even gonna allow you to do nothing but sit still.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
But these are the things that society have people go into prison or lose their life trying to keep up with other people, and they ain't even in position to do so.
Mm. Tony, what was that breaking point for you to where you just got free from other people's uh when I say expectation, I'm not saying like keeping you at a standard or like holding you accountable, but setting yourself free from what other people think for your life. What did it take for you to get like set free from that? To you like, you know what? I'm gonna go down the path that God has called me to go down, and I'm be who Tony Shivers is. Like, I'm not gonna be this or that. Like, what did that look like?
When I was sitting in prison facing that time, I started writing down lists. On one list, I wanted to figure out all the good things that's been happening in my life. Then I wanted to write down all the bad things. So meaning everything that Tony Shivers done, and then
Mm.
everything that T Mac done. So this is the
Wow, wow,
street
wow.
name. This is the other personality. So who been driving? T
Mm.
Mac been driving. I'm always keep going to prison. I always done stayed in trouble. You know what? I really don't even know who I am. So here we go. So now I need to figure out who I am. And so
Wow.
being able to go back, and it's like going in the attic, removing everything a person has stored in there. You got to
Mm-hmm.
go through every box, everything, and figured out that it was some people in my life that God was sending, and I was
Mm.
rebellious because I had a callous heart to them. Even
Mm.
though they would stop me and talk to me and say, "Hey, your mama ain't raised you like that." At this time, I ain't trying to hear that. Yes, sir. No, sir. When they leave, I ain't trying to hear what they saying
Yeah,
because
yeah, yeah.
it becomes a selfishness. And so now when I figured out, when I was sitting in there and I got about 20 letters from
Mm.
Angela Timbers and her sister,
Mm.
they took all the kids and wrote me 20 letters and was like, when you get out, we want to play kickball, we want to swim, we want to play baseball, we want to do all this other stuff. And I was thinking because I was doing wrong, that I
Mm.
didn't have that kind of influence. And God was
Yeah.
showing me the power and influence that I had, but
Wow.
I was using it for all the wrong things. So my contributions was in a negative way. But once I went in and I started journaling and started writing down like who I wanted to be, what I wanted to do, God was showing me my faith through that kind of stuff. I don't know how it's gonna be done. I don't know when you're gonna be able to do it. Little steps start activating those things, and I expect God to do stuff for
Mm.
me. Like I don't sit back
Wow.
walking around looking crazy. Everything that I
Yeah.
done been through to be able to saying this gonna allow me to get through it. But when I get through it, it builds stamina for me to go through anything that somebody throw at me, anything in life. Like a lot of things that used to affect him, introvert. Like I was in the
Mm.
extreme to be an extrovert. I finally understood
Wow.
that when I'm an extreme introvert,
Mm-hmm.
I need my space. Like people don't understand it. I know when I need my space. I ain't gonna tell you. I'm just for you relation. I'm doing all this stuff in the community,
Mm.
but I do get my time. So I go to the gym, I hike, I do all this other stuff that I need to do because I need my time. I'm an extreme introvert, and that's been my whole life. And until I understood it, I didn't hurt so many people by doing that. Like I don't want to talk, and
Yeah.
then I need my space. Hang around you and that. Yeah, I'm in it. I need to read a book. that's my person. I'm cool with it, and then take off. Then
Yeah,
I'm back to the community I need to do.
I know that's right. Hello. Let me make sure you got
Still,
some.
yeah.
We got some. I just want to. You got some people on here to say some stuff. His name Musfasa. Mustafa. He said true, and then Robin said real talk. Then everybody just agreeing with you. Points. Man, this is deep. Like that's deep. It's real good conversation. Just want to read back some of those comments. Tony, man, I'm getting off the topic a little bit, but you just touched on a lot of stuff in this 10 minutes. Like you just gave a lot. If you had before I ask that question, my first question talking about like the process of you finding yourself in that time when you was in prison, um, and that whole process. What was it like for you to be able um, to find Tony Shivers versus T Mac? Like you said, you wrote on one side Tony Shivers and the other side T Mac. What was just that whole process for you, just in that 700 and something days that you mentioned? What was that like for you to just like how God transformed you and was changing you and working on you and just bringing out the gold in you? What was that experience? What was that like for you?
It was scary. I was facing 783 months for conspiracy. So you talking about 65 years.
Oh,
I'm
say okay.
24. I'm 24 years old. I'm married. Got a daughter. Got a son. Like I don't know what else to do. All I know is my people like you better not mess up our name. So you better not go in there telling nothing. You better not be
Mm,
running your mouth. You better go do that time. You
mm,
made that bed, you gotta lay in it. And so
mm.
that's how you carry it. So the main thing was being able to take care of yourself. And
Yeah.
I went in mentally as an 18-year-old because
Hmm.
then when you strip to everything, you got to take off your clothes in front of everybody and walk
Yeah.
around hundreds of people like that. Like that builds so much confidence because now you going in shy. So that introvert that I was talking about, that broke that. Like you
Wow.
can't use the bathroom by yourself. It ain't no stalls in between. You gotta take a dump. You could touch the man next
Yeah.
beside you. Like it
Yeah.
was inhumane, but it taught me a lesson too. That once you go in a place that you can't control, you
Yeah.
gave them rights over. So when
Yeah.
you was doing what you was doing, I gave them rights over. So the process was learning from my experiences that the value that I was being taught through my uncles, cousins, friends. I don't care what stranger, whatever. I was learning something from every person I encountered, but I was throwing the seeds on cement. And
Mm.
so to go back and have to pick up every seed and go back to people, you know that eating that humble pie, go back and say,
Yeah.
Bruce, I know you was trying to tell me something at the time. I'm sorry. I really wasn't trying to hear it, but I understand what you're saying now. And so now I got to drop that in some good ground, and then now I got to apply it. See, that's what I had to learn. Like go back and apply everything that people was teaching me, because I missed the whole section of my life running the street.
Mm.
And so in that section running the street, man, when I went in, I thought my grandma was 60, she was 80.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
So that
Just.
means I wasn't really going to these events and stuff that our family was having to engage. I was just going there to turn up. We're gonna
Hmm.
go hang out and sure, we're gonna do one thing the streets do, it make you selfish. So in the process of that, when I got in there, I was scared, I was selfish, I was disrespectful, and I was arrogant. So
Mm.
like now I gotta go back and be able to first, when people thought I was at the worst time of my life, I was at the best time of my life because now I'm structured, I'm thinking. You look now. You got a man that's standing up. His back ain't bent, and
Mm.
then I got something on my mind. But before
Wow.
then, when I was on the street, people thought that was the best time of my life. When every 3 days I made $75,000,
Wow.
I'm making six figures at
Yeah.
24 years old. Like
Yeah.
that was the worst time of my life. I couldn't never sleep. I couldn't never trust nobody. I couldn't never like get too close to nobody because it was like you never know when you was gone. Like all I always used to tell my people, if anything happened to me, don't have no funeral, cremate me, save the money, and take care of yourself.
Wow.
Like, what we doing all this stuff for? Here go money for insurance. Here go money to bury me. Like, all you need to do is cremate me. Don't even try to go no $10,000 to $20,000 in debt.
Mm.
No, we ain't
Yeah.
doing that. We
For real
ain't doing
talk.
that.
Right. Tony, you are like the person I see now, the person I met 5 years ago, up until 2019. Maybe 6 years ago I met you, but I know it's up from that time you got released and I met you up until now. Who is and the person you just described in these past 20 minutes, who you were, that process, that change that you was making inside, and just how you just were altered. The person I met 6 years ago and now are even totally two different people, in the same, like you were the same in essence, but just like how you structured yourself, like how you presented yourself, and just like your levels of who you are. Who is Tony Shivers now? Like, and by you looking back on where you came from until now, like who is this individual now that we see? Who is Tony Shivers?
He's still evolving. Every day
Mm-hmm.
I wake up to meet him. It's like I asked God, I said, don't allow me to die before I reach my fullest potential.
Mm.
Because he didn't bless me in so many areas and showing me this favor and put me around these good people to let it stop now. It was
Right.
just like the more it's the investment. Every day I get up, I listen to motivational speaking. Every
Mm-hmm.
day I get up, I read something. Every day I get up, I'm looking at ways that I can better my life. And it's just it's more of the application. The more you apply it, that means I'm one step further than I was yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying I didn't hit the mark. I'm way away from that because
Yeah.
when I left the street, it was 100 things wrong with me. So
Mm.
now I know the Lord didn't deal with 20 of them. So I still
Right.
got
Right.
80
Right.
more. So
Right.
it's
Right.
more
Right.
like, yeah, how you gonna run in the woods and stay out there 40 years and come out and think you're gonna get a haircut and put on some new clothes
Wow.
and then you straight?
Wow.
Nah,
Wow.
I'm in
Wow.
the street for 15 years. I'm still doing crazy stuff. You manipulate, you lie. So all this stuff, the Lord had to keep on investing and investing and investing. Oh, okay. So now through awareness, He's saying, okay, you ain't got to do that no more. You
Wow.
ain't in the street no more. So when them urges come up, yeah, I still like Jordans, but I don't buy them.
Mm.
When I still go in the other places, I still love Polo. I don't buy them.
Wow.
Like, it's when those urges come up, yeah, I want $200, $300 just Versace glasses. I don't buy them. Those urges come up as if I
Mm.
still had that kind of money. And so that's the same thing with anything we do. You're going to be somewhere and stuff going to challenge what you got in you. And if you
Yeah.
haven't grown, you're going to operate out of that hurt or that broken person. And
Mm.
then that's the thing that people don't understand. You either teaching out a broken spot or
Wow.
restored spot, or you teaching out a healing spot. I want to be teaching out of a restored spot because once you restore it, that activates some more things in your life that you can pass on to the next person. Because people pick up on your energy, they pick on that everything that is in you.
Mm-hmm.
People, man, we natural creatures. We know when somebody wounded. We
Mm-hmm.
might play like we don't understand, but we understand. We know when you hurt. We know when you
Yeah.
messed up. Yeah, we natural creatures, but we
Wow.
know when you strong and in a good place, everything gonna connect.
Mm. So people sense that. Yeah. Libby said, "Now that's a word." My man. Look, shout out to YTL Libby and YWC and everything else. Black Town Hall, all that.
Yeah.
Keenan said, "Speak, brothers." Robin Harris said, "Preach." Then my guy, the champ, I think his name Thomas. He on too. He
Okay.
said, "My brothers." So look, it's just a more lighthearted question. Tony, at your, when I say in your younger years, you were at the prime of your money. You was making $75,000. I don't know, a week, a year. I don't know how
Every
that
every 3 days. Every
every
three
3 days.
days.
So
Every 3 days.
you had that type of money in your hand, and so that speaks a lot to your character. That you're not only like you got to be kind of smart. Well, you have to be. I don't know. You can't be stupid making that type.
Kind of smart.
Well, I know you
Oh
got to know.
man.
I'm thinking
Uh,
like I don't know, so I don't know the level. So you can educate me on this, but you can't be stupid in making that type of money. And from what I understand, you can't be stupid making that type of money. But also, you had to. It was a certain level of character to you for you to obtain that money. So that speaks to you as an entrepreneur even today, man. Do you miss that? I mean, of course you miss that money, but do you just like miss that at any point? Like, man, I wish I could make like you experience a high level of wealth, and now you still have that in you. Do you still have to? Do you still miss that? But also, do you still find yourself like uh, expanding yourself to access that level of wealth that's in you? Because you did it, you touched it, maybe in the wrong way, but that's in you, so that speaks to you as an entrepreneur. So do you expand your avenues to go back into that place as far as in the right way, like
so
just like touching
the
that?
the it's more. I listen to Eric Thomas every day, and
Okay.
he talk about having that bite, like for as a lion or whatever. It's just like if you got that drive, you got the innovation. Every day I tell myself, I'm a millionaire already. I just
Hmm.
ain't got my money yet, and so
Okay.
now I got to be able to obtain that mentally and emotionally first. So now, if I can go with it from not having it at a time when God invested in me. So it go to a point where they're getting this feedback off my phone.
You can hear the feedback.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Is you good?
I think it's good now.
All right. That's all good. That's why we keep these in, because it's doing this weird stuff now.
But the answer to your question is it's more of waking up every day and understanding that I was I was at one of my brothers the other day
Mm-hmm.
for my birthday. I had was more like in a position where I was just being real comfortable, being
Mm-hmm.
laid back. I didn't want to do anything. And I told him, I said, man, I think I want to go gamble. And that's
Mm.
what he tell me. He said, bro, he said, he said, it's more in you than the money you trying to chase.
Wow. Wow.
And
Mm.
then I thought about that, which made sense. Because if I'm always chasing money,
Mm-hmm.
then that means that I don't have the value inside of me. Because I always need, and if I'm always needing money, there's something wrong with that.
Mm.
So if I continue to bring value to somebody else's life, then the money will follow.
Right. The value.
And so that's what I'm learning now. That if no matter how much you do, whatever you do, if you learn, you grow, you invest, you bring value, money will follow you. Money don't make the man; it's his noble character. And so
Mm.
I'm learning that. And so now I'm applying it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I want to be in position to know that whenever God bless me with that, I'll be able to be a good steward of it
Yes,
instead of
sir.
think like I used to think, and which
Yeah.
ain't no more of that. We ain't got to worry about that. Ain't never going back to the street. It's over for that.
Okay.
It's over for that.
That was just an honest
It's
question, because I think
look.
I'm just being honest, me as a person. I don't know, but I can only speak to me. But if I experience that amount of money every 3 days, what you said, 25, $75,000 every 3 days, and let's say I got, saved, my life changed, I was refining my character, that I will never forget that. Like, I never forget that I had that in me. And I think that for me personally, like, I would have to put measures in place to make sure that I might not necessarily be selling drugs, but just ensuring that what I'm doing uh, is stand up right. I'm just talking about for me is
Right, right,
right
right,
and
right,
true. You
right.
know what I mean? Because I
Right.
experienced so
It
much of
makes
that.
sense. But I think about it like this in the aspect that if anything that is gonna allow me to dehumanize myself
Yeah,
to gain value, that means that I don't have any value.
yeah.
And so for me to for it's let me see, if I think about it like this,
Go
every
ahead.
day that I get up,
Yeah.
I think about all the people that I'm able to be in relationship with, the
Hmm.
impact that they have on my life, the influence that is happening in this community. That kind of money still out here.
That's true.
That kind of money still out here. It's just the more value that you place in a person, they can have that kind of money.
Mm, mm.
It'll be somebody that's sitting beside you and have that kind of money and give it to you just tomorrow.
Wow.
It's, it's relationships, man. Building those relationships. It,
No, you good. Somebody said something. So this guy says he said this is such a psychological psychosis that places us in an eternal maze that has been designed to keep us entrapped to believing there's no way for survival. Deeply thinking about the absence of God is total havoc. I truly, perfectly said, yes, sir. I truly agree with that. And yeah, Tony. So I'm gonna jump back into like I kind of got off topic on questions. I'm just talking to you like how I would talk to you normally. But so I got off topic on. So we got two more questions. But this next question is, I think we're deep enough in our conversation. I think it's appropriate to ask, Tony, why do you give back, or want to get more involved? Or why do you give back, and why are you involved in your community?
it's necessary. And so it's a part of my lifestyle now because I took so much from this community.
Mm-hmm.
And so, meaning that everything that I thought I was doing right through all my survival skills and doing everything that I was doing to get ahead, that I
Mm-hmm.
actually was taking from the morale of this community.
Yeah.
And so now the give back means give back me, give back myself to like the people that I encounter. Is it's my duty now as a man in this
Mm.
community. That's my investment. I give myself back. I leave a legacy,
Mm.
and it's just like you set the standard, and then you have young men and other people that follow that lead, and it continue to go. If you build that momentum, it's gonna continue to grow. But
Mm.
without that kind of momentum, we ain't gotta steal from each other. We ain't gotta be scared of each other. You
Wow.
share power, and it's the reason why I give back because it's necessary.
Mm.
And so it ain't nothing that I own. That's mine. So
Wow.
anything that I got, man, it could be get it. Only thing that I can't give away is my life. It ain't
Wow.
mine. But everything else, that's replaceable. That's
Wow.
replaceable.
Wow.
Like I thank God for allowing me to experience the money that I had because nobody can't just dangle something in front of my face and make me work for it. Like
Yeah.
I ain't no.
That's not your character.
I know my value.
Yeah, sir. Talk. Yeah, man. That's awesome too. Um, my next question is, uh, what would you like to see more of in Astra if you? And I'm using an analogy, but if you could snap your fingers like you had the Infinity Stones from Marvel, what would happen?
I would like to snap the mindset of the people to make them to think that everyone that one is not homeless. Two, never been to prison. Three, mental illness. Four, the intensive crisis. Five, like infliction of cancer, sickness in the body. Like this stuff will never happen. So
Mm,
the main thing is like I would like to snap people into reality and saying once you live life, all of this stuff gonna happen to you. And
Mm.
so it's the mindset of people of what a man's supposed to be.
Mm.
There's a homeless man that can invest and give back to you by sitting and listening to his story.
Wow,
There's
wow.
somebody that is inflicted with cancer by sitting at their bedside and encouraging them and pouring into their spirit. They drop something valuable in you to start another business or do some other things.
Mm.
Like it can be an accident on your way home,
Mm-hmm.
and now your whole life changed. And
Mm.
so we want the perfect world, and there ain't no perfect world.
Yes.
I would love to have the perfect father, a
Me too.
come on, it ain't that perfect stuff ain't around. Like
Yeah.
it
Me
ain't.
too.
So I see the value in the people that's around me,
Yeah.
and then we gonna grow from there. We gonna
Yes,
grow
sir.
from there. Give me what everybody else throw away, and I'm gonna
Yeah.
work with that.
Yes,
Because the
sir.
hunger of that person just wanting a second chance, I could work with them.
Yes,
I
sir.
can work with them.
My girl Robin, she said, Miss Harris, she said, men are necessary. And Philip Cooper gonna be a clown like he always is, my boy. He said, not the Infinity Stones.
Oh,
Because I said, yeah,
because look,
yeah, go ahead. What you
I
about to say?
see people minimize, deny, and blame, and won't be accountable. Cause see,
Mm-hmm.
this the main thing is being accountable after the fact. So what is the
Yeah.
solution after the fact? So now we got people that's coming back to this community. This is a thriving community. We
Yeah.
letting all these people come into this community,
Yeah.
but we got all this other stuff going on. And so if you got your life together, you are welcome. If you've never been to prison, you are welcome. If you ain't
Mm.
addicted to drugs, you are welcome. If you
Wow.
in the community of the faith, you are welcome. If you're
Wow.
dealing with any kind of sickness or needing any kind of special needs or anything like that, like,
Wow.
come on now. These are people that been through situations. I know when I got hit on my motorcycle in 2002, I got addicted to pills. Okay,
Mm.
so after that, so what happened now? I got hit on the motorcycle. I got addicted to pills, which was prescribed to me.
Mm.
Now how you deal with that? So how people recover from those life situations like after that? Then like you think about the things that happen. People going right to the hospital and they going and they going to treatment centers and then they getting all these. It's crazy. It's crazy. Like let's I'm a snap the stones for you.
This the
I'm gonna snap the
stones.
stones for you because
Yeah,
they
come
think
on,
it's
bro.
gonna be this stuff that ain't fixed overnight. It's layer after layer. When you
Come on.
deal with the addiction, you gotta deal with the mental illness. You gotta deal
Oh
with the
man.
emotional abuse. You gotta deal with the hurt, the pain. You gotta deal. Man, people don't even know how to have real interactive relationships or get
Mm.
into an argument and still be able to talk about it after the fact. We ain't doing none of this stuff. Like, what's the solution? We
Mm.
don't deal with people on like on a regular level. We don't do
Wow.
that. We don't deal with people. We don't treat people like people. We don't treat
Mm.
people like people. And to as our family, then it's one of our family. Now we want to treat them like a regular human being. Don't talk about my people because they hooked on drugs or this. Nah,
Wow.
it's crazy.
I feel you. Philip said misplacing the resources. It's time for them to invest in the changing. Hey,
Hey,
hey, you right. Hey, you know I'm with it, Phil.
hey.
Yeah, it's time to invest in
Phil,
this changing.
Phil, Phil, Phil already know that, man. It's the investment, man, and not only in the education through all these workshops, all of these things. It's the application, man. You can have all this information. It's the application, man. If you can,
Mm.
it's an awareness that people don't have. Like people going through so much in life, and then they don't
Yeah.
even have. Man, you got people go to school, have 5, 6 degrees on
Mm.
certain things. They could be nurses, they could be a psychiatrist, they could man, and then when something happened to them,
Yeah.
all of those the things in their life that they practice, it don't work for them.
Go out the window.
It don't work for them. And
Come on.
so knowing through all the stuff that people go through. See, we can fix people, but we can't fix ourselves. It's
Mm.
application. It's application, man.
Wow.
The resources is here. The information is here.
It's here.
It's we got the stones, but we need to put them in the right
Change
spot.
agents are here.
Put it in the right spot.
Man.
It's too many talented people here. It's
Yeah, that's
talented
real
people
talk.
here, man. They gifted, scared to share power. That's all I'm gonna
Mm.
say. They scared to share power. When we was in the street, we had to share power. It
Mm.
was a respect thing. You
Mm.
had to share power. You can't make no money by not sharing no power. So it's the same thing. It ain't got nothing to do with money in this aspect. If you
Yeah.
want people to be able to take care of themselves,
Yeah.
you got to share power.
You
Because
got to share
if you
power.
if all the people in your circle are
Mm-hmm.
growing and being invested in themselves and
Yes, sir.
developing, they affect the whole movement of people. The people that live in their homes, the people they work
Mm.
with, the people they go to church with, the people they go to school and mentor. Is But when you holding the resources and trying to do it on your own, you ain't
Can't do
going
nothing with
nowhere.
that.
You ain't
Going
going
nowhere.
nowhere. It might look good in the beginning, but it don't last long. It'll
Mm.
fizzle out like when you drop butter in the pan.
Yeah.
It's gone.
It cook
It
out.
it's gone. It disappear. It
It
disappear.
disappear. Nobody can
Yeah.
even eat what you got. Philip said
It's
they don't want to share because they looking for accolades and not impact. Ooh. Ooh. I wish I could do a three-way on here. I'm gonna figure it out one day. Go ahead.
Look, tell Phil, be good, be easy, Phil. Be
Be
easy.
easy,
Be easy.
Philip. You
Be
coming on here?
easy.
You coming on here on one of these Mondays? We already set it up. Look, we gonna set that on fire. Yeah, Philip. Hey, I love y'all. Like I
See
really go ahead.
this is the investment in the community. First, see if you know a lot of your people is in debt, so why we not having like financial classes? If you know
Wow.
people are hooked on drugs, okay,
Mm,
so what's the aftercare after the fact? You come out of the treatment center, okay, and so if you know people are dealing with
mm.
traumatic experiences,
Come on, bro.
what's the follow up after the fact?
Wow.
Cause it's like when I seen a person die in front of me, guess what?
What?
I still see that to this day. It
Mm,
don't go nowhere.
mm.
But if I don't understand how to be able to continue to go on and be able to do what I need to do every day, knowing that this is I supposed to be and lost my mind. Like all the stuff I done seen, I supposed to be and
Wow.
lost my mind. Like it's some people out here really losing their mind because they didn't have baseball, they didn't have the gym, they didn't go hiking, they didn't have family. So it birthed into something else. It birthed into addiction. It birthed into homelessness. It birthed into financial debt. It birthed
Mm.
into physical abuse, post traumatic stress, like all this stuff. I wa- God had his hand on me, and He still got his hand on me because
Wow.
I supposed to be and lost my mind. Still posted and lost my mind.
And Ardra says second chances are so needed for people who has messed up. I'm a person of second chance. And then she said, if I can open the rest, hold on. She said, I'm so thankful for being able to. All right, here we go. She said, I'm so thankful being able to get a second chance. I used to be all that. The dealing drugs, the drug users, the inmate that served time for all this stuff. Today, I'm giving back the community. Somebody gave me a second chance.
Man,
Man,
I was at second chance and like at 98, I'm on like on my 200 chance, like
yeah, yeah.
second chance, and second chance, second chance. Once I recognized that God was giving me the favor that I didn't deserve, that was my second chance. Like my second, my third, my fourth, my fifth. I'm still counting. Like every day that I
Mm,
get up in the morning, like got hit on the motorcycle, punctured lung. Like I'm supposed to
Mm.
be alive. Like fell asleep driving 100 miles an hour in a car and hit a tree. Come on, that's shots close
Wow.
range. Like somebody shooting at me 6 times. Either he couldn't shoot or it was
Right.
just God's grace. And I've been in so much stuff, drinking and driving, doing all this stupid stuff. Like I done had chance after chance. Stick a cord in the outlet, and
Mm.
we had duct tape on it back then, trying to hook an iron up, and it
Man.
sparked and burned my fingers up. Like all this kind of stuff, I'm supposed to be gone, man.
Man.
At 8 years old, thinking I know how to drive, then push my aunt's car out of gear. She had a straight drive. I'm
Mm.
in the car, don't even know the car moving, and come on, like
Just one after another.
it's it's so much grace. All I can say every day when I get up, it's in the cup. He already died
Man.
for it. He already
Come
died
on,
for it.
bro.
It's in the cup. It's
Come
in
on,
the
it's in the
cup.
cup.
So I can't complain. I don't complain about nothing. Everything
Wow.
that I went through, it got me a whole lot closer to him, and I won't change nothing that I've been through.
Mm.
Even to now, like if
Come on.
everything that I go through every day, I'm learning. I'm learning
Come
from
on.
people I encounter. I'm
Mm.
learning. And so the
Mm.
more that I learn, the more that it's teaching me how to be who I need to be, because I do got a son and daughter that's counting on me. And so even in the long run, I'm just trying to figure out how to be. I always just don't allow me to die before I'm to my fullest potential.
Yep. You said it in the beginning. Yeah. Divine favor. Yes, sir. I hear that. However, messages and stages like this, we can begin to reach and help people, many people, God willing. Man, I ain't trying to hold you. You know, I just listen and like we
I got
absorbing.
about 8 more% on here now. I got
All right,
eight votes,
all right,
8%.
I got one more question. Um, what to you, Tony? What does it mean to you to be a primal man of God?
First, I would say discipleship, because if you're gonna be a primal man of God, that's your primary source. So first, you discipleship is most important. If you
Mm,
don't discipleship, people are getting saved, and you might as well do see them like at the pool of Gethsemane and Bethesda and tell them, oh, why you ain't jumped in yet? It's because everybody keep going before me. Discipleship.
mm,
Everybody working together to learn the word and personal growth. I would be innovative, because God want us to be businessmen. The
mm,
tools and talents and gifts that He give us, those
mm.
are investments to enrich the community.
Wow.
Okay, so the faith that you have, the
Mm.
faith is the very thing when it's saying enough to as small as a
Yeah.
mustard seed.
Yeah.
That's what you need when you're sitting in that hospital bed and them friends and family don't come see you. That's
Ooh.
what you need when you get that phone call that you got something in your body that you know that you've
Being
been
part.
eating and living right, and now you get that call. And so
Mm.
now you somebody that's been your friend for years, you get a call saying they was in a traffic accident or something happened, that unexpected phone call. You better have some faith or you gonna fall apart too. And
Mm.
then it's all understanding. None of us are exempt from living life. So
Wow. That's
if you
big.
don't know nothing else, strive, think, invest, love, and live. That's my motto, and I'm sticking
Mm.
with that. I'm gonna smile every day. I could be going through pure hell, and I'm gonna be laughing about it, because people. One thing about it, God's grace is being His favor is
Fly
beautiful.
high.
So yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah. Somebody said, but I just said, I feel you, man. I'm not supposed to be here either. 26 years of my life, I'm in total addiction. I had no choice but God. Then somebody said, yes, better in one day in his courts than 1,000 elsewheres.
Right, right, right.
Come on, come on. Yeah, that's good, man. You touched, man, Tony, bro. You gave so much. You gave so many jewels in this hour, and we have all been highly blessed just by what God is doing in your life. And I tell people all the time. Sometimes people might not crack open the Bible, but the only Bible they may open is your life. Sometimes they only see the Bible in your life. And so, well, I really appreciate you, me seeing you up close, you know what I mean? Just how you operate, going into the prisons and sharing the gospel through your line, the way that God has given it to you to share
Right.
that good news and give people second chances. To anybody that's watching or to even anybody that watch this later, whether it's man, woman, or child, and they may have somebody in their life that they was like, man, I wish they met Tony. I wish that Tony can talk to this individual. What would you say to that person?
First and foremost is all right not to know. That's the thing.
Mm,
A lot of times we put a lot of pressure on people and teenagers to try to figure it out. Maybe this wrong with them. Maybe that's wrong with them. Maybe that's wrong with them. A lot of times it's just them being misunderstood. And so now I know that I wasn't a bad person, but I was just blinded. And so the
mm,
more that I was blinded, I was learning and doing things that I had no business because I didn't have the insight
right.
in how to deal with peer pressure. I didn't have the insight how to deal with a lot of things. So for somebody that's dealing with a lot of peer pressure, is even every day getting up, knowing. See, this what happens. What I understand, people compare their lives to the next person's life, and if it don't line up with where they expect it to be, they
Mm,
panic. They panic.
mm,
I know when I had this job, we had two cars and we was living at this house and we had.
mm.
Man, if you keep looking at stuff, you lost it. You
Wow.
lost it. You lost
Mm,
it. One thing God allowed to happen is the investment. If you at peace,
mm-hmm.
you understand what's going on.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
you know you in the right place in your job and in your community. And if you plant that in the right place, you ain't got to worry about nothing. You
Yeah.
ain't innovation, creativity. You got to have courage. One thing as a man, we got to remove pride. If we don't remove
Come on.
pride, we'll crash every time. And
Mm.
I tell people, I don't know. If I don't know, I don't know. And I don't look.
That's it.
If I don't know, I ain't
That's
gonna
that.
talk about it. If I don't know, look, you ain't say nothing. I know, cause I don't know.
Yeah.
And
You don't
don't
talk about
claim to
what you
know
know.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
don't claim. Don't look. Don't
That's the
don't
most
claim that
dangerous
you know
thing to do.
everything.
Yeah.
And don't be scared to fail.
Come on.
Don't be scared to fail. The process of learning who you are is more sustainable than giving up in the middle of it. It
Come
was
on.
only in the process of me going through. If God would have shown me who I was gonna be today through all the stuff that I was going through,
Mm.
I'd have gave up a long time ago.
Wow.
I'd have gave up a long time ago because it's the process of this take years.
Mm.
You talking about years, but I know I ain't right there. I know that every day I'm getting up, I'm
Yeah.
moving somewhere, but I ain't still sitting right there
Right.
and asking
Absolutely.
God to do something in my life. No,
Mm.
I ain't scared no more. So when you got a man that's willing to stand up now, be committed to what he say he gonna be committed to,
Yeah.
give his word on something and do it, it's bring the value back, man. Bring the value back.
Wow.
That's all we got left. If we don't, if I was talking to myself at the age of 18,
Yep.
I'll tell myself right now is don't be scared of nothing nobody else tell you to do. Be yourself, and you ain't got to be cool. Is what you got to be cool for. If you're a extreme introvert, be a extreme introvert. It's all right to be different. I was scared to tell myself that.
Wow.
It's all right to be different.
Mm.
Yeah, it's all right to be different. I was scared of girls in high school, and it was love. It's all right to be different.
Wow.
I didn't learn sex education in the house. I learned that in the street. So a
Mm.
lot of this stuff, please be different. Be
Mm.
different, because the stuff that you learn, you're gonna
Mm-hmm.
learn it real fast,
Yes,
and
sir.
sometimes you can't go back. You can't go back.
Mm. Tony, last thing, you have a business. It's called Still Smiling Photography, correct?
That's it. That's
Yeah.
it,
How can people find you?
man.
What type
You
of
can
stuff you
find
do?
me. You can go on my website, www.stillsmiling.photography. You can actually go on Facebook, Tony Shivers, it's Still Smiling. You could go on Instagram, it's Still Smiling. Is you could go on, you can email me at Tony at
Smiling.
stillsmiling.photography. Yeah, it's that's where I got that from. When somebody asked me, said, "Man, after everything that you've been through, how can you still smile?"
Mm.
And so that was the reason. That's where I got that from. I'm gonna
Wow.
strive. I'm gonna think. I'm gonna invest. I'm gonna love, and I'm gonna live.
Mm.
Still smiling. I said, after this, I'm still smiling.
Come
Even after
on.
this, I'm still smiling. They said that smile contagious. So look, I'm still smiling.
Come
And
on,
so
bro.
look, I'm an entrepreneur by heart. I enjoy doing what I'm doing through the eye of a camera. I
Mm.
appreciate it. I love it. I thank them for the support, everything. So look me up, because one thing I do take that very seriously, and I appreciate it. And look, that business right there, I never wanted to be a photographer. I'm gonna let you know that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And and it was divine. It was divine. I was going through a staph infection, and
Mm.
it put me out of work for a year and a half.
Mm.
And I was talking to the world through the eye of a camera. And
Wow.
God placed people in my life and said, "Hey, you got the eye. You got the eye of a photographer." And
Come
guess
on.
what I did? I
Well.
listened. I listened. They said,
Mm.
"Hey, you should get a camera." Anna Smith sold me a camera, and I've been taking pictures ever since.
Wow.
And so, and that's when it all started. My best friend, Andre
Mm-hmm.
Arrington, I was his daughter, Deandra,
Mm-hmm.
said nobody could take her pictures but me, and I didn't even know what I was doing.
Wow.
And after I took those pictures, he said, "Bro, God told me to bless you." He gave me
Wow.
$100. He said, "Don't take no more pictures for free." And I'm
Wow.
looking at him and said, "Bro, I can't take that." He said, "Don't take no more pictures for free. For this day out, don't take no
Wow.
more pictures for free." Hold on 1 minute. He went in the back, came back, gave me another $100, and
Wow.
said, "Now pay for your first lens." He said
Wow.
this. He planted the seed. He planted the seed. And
Dang.
Anna and Andre, I thank you, because God used them to speak that word, and I'm listening.
To open up a whole entire business just that you didn't even know was coming.
Then it was under the rock. I went
Mm.
and looked under it. Yeah, I was up
That
on the
joke was right
mountain.
there.
Yeah, he said,
Yeah.
"Here, lay right there. I'm gonna use this as a pillar." Jacob.
Yeah. Yeah. Come on, bro.
Yeah,
Let's go.
yeah,
But
yeah. This is all God divine.
Tony, I want to say first off, thank you, bro, for being on here. I really appreciate you, bro, for just being on this conversation and on this topic with me tonight, and just laying out jewels. I really, really appreciate it, bro.
I
Thank you.
appreciate you too, man.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Guys, that's it for the Primal Man God series tonight. This will be circulated in the captions. If you want to find Tony and his business as well, that'll be in the captions. So most definitely use this man's services, but also get to know him. So phenomenal man, you heard from him tonight. Share, like, and invite. This is an important conversation. We are still going to carry this series out for the next couple weeks on this specific topic with some other extraordinary brothers that me and Tony are honored to know as well.
Right.
Tony, I want to say thank you again, brother. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Until next time, Tony. All right, peace. Yeah. All right, guys. That was our conversation for on the night. The man in his community. I want you to share, like, and invite. We have the Primal Man channel, most definitely. Oh, what's going on, Treasure? Hey, Tiffany, what's up, y'all? Family on here. Share, like, and invite. We're most definitely gonna have the discussion again next week at the same time, same place. I want to say, Primal Man and Primal Women, stand up, stand out, and stand forever. Until next time, guys. God bless. Peace.